Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on stage 90 of the Transformers Optimus Prime, as well as the premium base part 5. So let me go ahead and get these parts open. And there's a lot of metal parts in here. This is a pretty heavy package here. I did read something in the manual I'm a little bit not happy about, and I'll talk about that when we get to that point. Okay, so we're going to open this here. Open a book, and we'll look at the parts. So we have the upper knee frame, knee and ankle frame, I think that's this one here. Hinge plate, knee joint, shield plate, that's going to be that right there. Oh no, that's the side protection plate. Just quite a few parts here. We've got some MP screws, some HM screws, some NM screws. Got the plastic part here, a couple of plastic parts. We've got some plastic rings here. Just quite a bit of stuff. And let me just double check real quick because you might want to talk about this now. You need leftover NM screws. So let me see. We have 5 NM screws here total. So these are going to be left over, as well as these. Why are you providing them to me in this issue? Why not provide them in the next issue instead, in issue 91, which I won't get until for next month? Just seems odd to me to provide me parts so that I have to keep track of them, and possibly something happen and they get lost. Just odd to me. So let's see. The first part we need is going to be this part right here. Actually, I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to pause the camera real quick, get these all out of here because this plastic is just terrible for sound. So I'll be right back as soon as I get the parts out of that. Okay, got all the parts out. The only saving grace is they're all metal, so you're not going to break them getting them out of there. So we're going to take this piece here, and I'm just looking. They've got it sitting here like that. And nut 90I, a nut from here. Let me see if I can get just the nut. We're going to put this nut down inside of here. And here's right there. Come on. There's where the hole for the screw is going to go. The nut drops into this gap right here. I want to make sure I've got it facing the right way because it is a self-locking nut. It's got a little piece of plastic in there. So I want to get it down in there like that, with the end with the plastic, this end right here that has a little soft plastic in it towards the outside here. And we're going to take the next piece here, we're going to set it on here like this. We're going to close this up using 2 of the NM screws. Where did I put them? Ah, they're over here, that's right. So we're going to grab 2 of these NM screws, and according to what the instructions say, we're going to put the rest of these away and hopefully not have something happen to them in the next month. And this is actually a nice way to do this, and I just realized this is an M screw, but to try and put it in there without any oil, I could feel it was going to be pretty resistant to going in. So we'll dip this in the oil. We'll get it in here, get it started. Still a little bit difficult to get it in there, but the oil will help to lubricate it to cut the threads into the cast metal. So we'll tighten this one all the way down. That one actually went in really nicely. Let's pull this one out just a hair and then put it in. That went much nicer in there. So we've got this piece just like this. Now we're going to take 90A, which is this piece here, and we've got 2 times 90L, yep, which are the smaller ones. Actually, let me see something. No, those are the larger ones. Just look, and the reason, hang on. Oh, you know what? I'm about to trying to use the wrong parts. I'm going to use the wrong parts, put them in the wrong spot. So we've got these 2 friction discs here. These are 90L. And they've got a striation on one side. I don't know if you can see it on this one. There's small striations on there which are going to help to make them grab hold of whatever is next to them. They're going to fit into these shaped parts here, or shaped holes. We're going to put them both in, and then we're going to take this part here, and let's see. Ah, okay. So that is going to go into this group, this gap here, line up with this hole that we put the nut in for. Make sure we've got this facing the right way. This little arm here, as we put this in, should be on this side that has this piece sticking up here. I'm going to see if I can keep them in there without having to fight with them too much, because there's nothing actually holding them in until they get into this slot, if they do. Just looking, 2 small friction discs with grooves facing outward. And it does not want to go in there. It is a very tight fit. Rocking it back and forth a little bit to get it to slide in here. So once this is in here, it definitely will not need to be really over tightened at all to get it to lock into place. I'm guessing this is going to be where a foot attaches, because it is really a tight fit to get this in here. That's almost lined up. Let me take the smaller screwdriver and see if I can pry it in there. Then we're going to take the screw here and actually grab the 2 lock washers as well. That's the 2 lock washers that I need. Don't need a lock washer. And actually, it's not a screw, it is a bolt. It's a bolt instead. They call it a hexagonal screw. But you put the 2 lock washers on it. (90H and 90J). Ah, 1 lock washer, 1 regular washer. My apologies for being confused. So drop that one back in, get the regular washer back out. Regular washer is non-magnetic. That's always funny when that happens. So we got the regular washer here. So it's going to be just like this. It's going to be the regular washer, then the lock washer, then the hex screw, as they call it. And then we're going to try and get it to line up with this hole, which is not playing nice right now. Let's see if we can, looking for a small screwdriver rather than the Wera ones, because I don't want to break one. See if that's gonna let me work it. Maybe. Okay, let me try and thread this in here. I'm going to pull this out and see if there's any way to get it lined up a little bit better. Well, actually, it's what I was looking at. Is it looked like the plastic of the one of the tension washers, or yeah, one of the washers that has the striations on it to give it tension. Looked like it might be not in place, but it is where it needs to be. Let's see. Once this is in here, it's going to be good. But getting it in here could be a little bit interesting. The washer came off there. Put this back in place. Let's see if we can get this screw to go in. And this is where I would love to have cross tip on the back of this, because that would help me so much pushing this in. Or cross point, shall we say. I think it is threading in, maybe. So I'm going to pause the camera and come back once that's in place. Once I've got that in where I can actually get it into the nut. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have it ready to go into place, and I had to take this part out to make sure I could get it in there. Had to try and pry on it with a scrab, use a wrench. This is not a good design. It's actually cutting threads into the part inside there. But it's about to go into the screw, so I'm going to, so I put the, or into the nut, so I put the nut back in there. Hopefully it is actually engaging. Took a lot more effort than it should to do this. I almost got out the drill, thought about leaving one of the friction pads out. Let me see, is it is starting to engage with the nut, it appears. Maybe not very well, and they say to use the wrench, the smaller wrench, not the socket wrench like this. Still not going in very well. I think it is wedged into there and not lining up. Let me back it out and see if I can get it to actually engage this nut. But my personal opinion, overcomplicated the way they did it. It is not working at all to get this part in here. Not the way they planned it. But I believe, yeah, it's finally engaging into the lock nut. Way too complicated. The tolerance here, much too tight. That's what was causing the problem, is it was I mentioned earlier it was hard to get this in here with the friction discs in there. But it is finally coming to rest. They, like I said, the little wrench that they provide, box end wrench that they provide, or open end wrench, sorry, that they provide, that's what they say to use. I'm using the other wrench they provided. You put this part back on, and you can see here metal shavings from having to fight so hard to get that in there. It should not be that hard to get it in there. So let me get these screws back in and we will press on. This one's in cross threading like I did before. Okay. I mean, look at the array of tools I've got out here. I've got hammers, I've got scribes, just a bunch of stuff I should not have to use. So the next thing they want us to do is take this part here, and on here you have a little hole. You're going to take this, that, and you're going to take this piece, and you're going to set this on here like this, lining up the holes. This should be a lot easier than that last part was. We're going to take the pin. It says be sure not to scratch or damage the part. If you use a tool to push the pin in. And I'm looking, there are no striations on the pin, so hopefully it will actually stay in place. It's pretty snug, it should stay. I don't have a hard spot on this pad, so I'll set this on here. What you can do instead of the tool is you can use the tables or whatever you have handy, and I'm again pushing pretty hard on this. So let me try it on the table instead. It is lined up. Okay, try a little plastic hammer. Try the other hammer I have that is not metal to metal. Hang on, let me set it to the edge of the table. Still not going in. I can see it's part of the way in. Okay, so we'll take the scribe and see if it'll fit. And we'll push this back out, if it'll come out. My concern now is that I'm going to stab myself in the hand. We are at a point where it won't go in and it won't come out. So, a pair of needle nose pliers. Dopey me, I was worried it was not going to stay in place. Ow! Pinched myself. Try this again, try not to pinch myself. Okay. Let's see where is it making it through the metal part here? And it is not. There's the problem right there. It will not fit through the metal part. The solution to that, check before you do this, but the solution to that is to take a file to the inside. A little bit more, if you have a round file. If you don't have a round file, all I can say is good luck. double check. Okay, the pin will now go through here. Of course, I have scratch marks on the pin now, so it's going to actually lock itself in place pretty well. So we're going to go back to this. We're going to put this in here like this. We're going to get the pin started through the plastic. Hang on, make sure I've got the unscratched end I'm pushing. Yeah. We'll start this like this. Would help if I would get this in the right spot. Okay, that's lined up on the table. Push. Push a little bit more. And that is in place. Now it might be floppier than it's supposed to be because I had to drill the inside of the piece out here because the paint was too thick. If it is, I may have to do something, may have to apply a little bit of white glue in here to make it stay in place. But that's something for another day. Okay, so the next thing they want us to do is they want us to take this from stage 88. Get this out of the way. We're going to take this piece here. Before we do that, we're going to take 90M, which is this right here. I'll show it to you in a second once I get it out of the bag. We're going to take this little wrench looking piece. We're going to put it on here like this, just like that. And we're going to use an MP screw, and they're saying 90J, which is, I believe, a lock washer. Yes, 90J is a lock washer, which they are magnetic, so I should be able to pull one out. And then, whoop, wrong side of the page. MP screw that's going, so that's going into plastic. Where did I put? There it is. Okay. So we have a flanged screw. We're going to put the lock washer over top this flange screw, and then we're going to screw it into this socket, or this lug right here, tighten it down, and that lock washer is going to hold this piece in place wherever we put it. We then take this part here, and I believe it is, yeah, it's going to be this lug right here. We're going to set this on here like that, just like that. We're going to take another one of the lock washers, and we're going to take an HM screw, which also has a flange on it, but it is an M screw, so it's going into metal, which means we're going to dip it in oil. Put the lock washer on there, and then without dropping the lock washer, attach it right here to the ankle. Tighten it all the way down, and so we can move this piece to wherever we need to. And that is all there is to do in this stage. Like I said at the beginning, I don't think it's right that the NM screws and these friction discs get held over until the next issue. Especially if it was an issue that was shipped with this one, I think it would be okay. But there is quite the possibility of something going wrong and you're losing parts when you don't do something for over a month, because it usually takes a little bit longer. Not sure where this is going to go on here. Think maybe down here. Not positive. But that is all there is to do in stage 90. But I still have to do the, like I said earlier, I have to do the stand. So I'm going to clean this up, zoom the camera out, and bring the stand over, and we'll come back and do that part. Okay, I am back, and let me zoom the camera out. Come on. So we can get the premium base in there, in the camera, or in the shot. There's the parts. And again, this month I had to ask for the manual. They don't post it online. You have to ask for it. It's a little bit ridiculous. And so for the premium base, parts come in this box. And what we have, let's see, we got 5-1, 5-2, and 5-3, plus a bunch of screws. Okay, so this must be 5-1 because there's 4 of them. 5-2 and 5-3. So to install these parts, what you have to do is flip the base over, and I kept the pad under there on purpose. 5-3, looking at their picture, goes over here. Ah, there's the difference on 5-3. Looking, I don't see it on here. Maybe these are 5-1. There it is. 5-3. You open this. Whoop. The difference for it is you have, I'm not sure if that's a power button or if that's going to be a touch socket or touch button. What is it? Like your phone is, capacitive switch. So we're going to take this here and we're going to put it right here where this opening is. It's going to go on here like this. It's going to go to the corner, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that are going to go in there. Make sure, yeah, 4 TA screws is what it says. So we'll go ahead and dump all these screws in here. And since this video is already 30 minutes, I am going to go ahead and pause, put the screws in, and we'll come back and do the next one. I try not to go over 30 minutes, but can't avoid it on this one. So I'll be right back. Okay, so that first one is in. And you can see there, like I said, I believe this is going to be a capacitive switch. So let's see what the next thing they say to do is the 3 5-2 pieces, which are the rest of them in this package. What we're going to do is we're going to take each of them. They're going to be on the same corner as this one. Interesting. Okay, did not realize that, but that little slot that 5-3 has next to it is on every corner piece. 5-3 also has this lip, or 5-2 also has this lip on here. Remove these. Make sure I'm getting this in the right spot because it's not staying. Oh, okay, it has the lip underneath. There we go. Once it's lined up, it stays in place. Go ahead and get these other two out, and I will put them in place and then put the screws in off camera, because there's 12 screws in these 3 pieces. And the bag doesn't want to open. I'm trying not to break the part. Okay, there's those 2. This one is going to go over here, lining up with these holes on the side. Kind of like that. Don't know why, but the corners are not wanting to go in without any issue. Got to fight with it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera, put in 12 screws, and I will be right back, if I can find my mouse pointer. Okay, that's got those ones on. All 4. There's the one with the switch on it. And so we have 4 more here that have got to go on. I'm just going to get one out, show you how it goes into place. It's identical to the rest, pretty much, other than the fact that it's on the other opposite corner. So we're going to take this one. I'm actually going to pick it up like this. There's a little slot where there should be. I don't see a slot. But this fits in here. You got your holes here for your screws, your pins. Your pins are going to go into those holes, just like that. You're going to put the screws in, tighten it down, and then it's done. There's 4 sides total. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all 4 done. And you can see I went and got an electric drill just so that I'm not fighting with this thing. Let me put this down so it stops fruiting out the camera. But I went and got an electric drill just to speed this up a little bit. I will tell you, it is a pain getting it past these. Might have been easier if they'd have had us put these panels on before we put these white panels on, but that's not the direction they went. So let me pause the camera and I'll come back and we'll do an outro. Okay, it is done, and I put the drill away because I used it in one spot easily here. The rest of the spots, these posts are all getting in the way. I did notice too that this post here is a short shot. Did not notice that before. Not a big deal, but this is how the base looks at this point. Not too shabby, pretty solid, but I'm curious if it is going to stay that way once it's built. I am feeling, okay, this corner is a little bit iffy. I'm curious if once we put lights in it, if there's going to be any light leaks in the seams. I hope not, but we'll see. But that is all there is to do in stage 90 and on the premium base. Hope you're enjoying this build. I'm having a good time of it, except that there are some minor issues here and there. Nothing unsurmountable, but you saw on the one leg piece that it was a little bit difficult to get it in there. It took some serious effort. I've got a 35-minute video here, and I don't edit, I do pause. This video is actually would have been an hour and a half of actual, or is hour and a half of actual time. So with that, I am going to say thank you for stopping by. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. Let me know what you think. I really love comments. It lets me know if I'm doing right by my audience or if I need to change something. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video or stream.
Model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models.